My name is Amanda Maxwell, and for my interview, I decided to interview Miss Jamie Smith. She works at Sussex County Community College in Newton, New Jersey, and her official title at the institution is Coordinator of Women's Athletics. So I had asked Miss Smith what it was that she exactly does, and she said that she is responsible for the retention and success of female student athletes, and she's also the voice for the female student athlete body under the direction of the athletic director. So she's able to advocate and be a voice for them and somebody they can talk to within the department. So I asked her what the most frustrating part of her job is because, the description of the position is a little broad and open to interpretation. And, talking to her about it, it's kind of a day to day basis. There's not a set, thing every day that she has to do. It's kind of she's there for them whenever they need. And she's always looking for things that will make the experience at the school better for female athletes and things that she can enhance their experience. So she said that the most frustrating part of the job is trying to get female athletes to continue to play at the collegiate level. I personally am somebody who played 2 years at the junior college level. I played softball for 2 years, but then moving on to North Carolina State University, I decided to step away from the game and focus on school. So as somebody who did walk away, I found it interesting that she said that's the most frustrating part of her position. She feels that most female athletes would rather focus on school or their social life or work rather than continue to play. And she said it's very difficult for female athletes to see how important it is to continue to play, not just for their mental sake, but their physical sake as well. Everybody has their own reasons, of course, but I do personally feel like part of the motivation for a lot of female athletes walking away at the collegiate level is just the fact that it is such a small, slim chance that female athletes can really create a sustainable job, a sustainable living from sports after the collegiate level. So on the flip side of that, I also asked what the best part of her job is, just to, bring back some good memories for her. And she said the best part is definitely when she gives advice to a female athlete and she watches them mold it and shape it into their own successful experience, which I thought was really nice to hear. Let's see. Okay, so the next most important question I know for me was I asked her if she always knew what she wanted to do and if she always had her mind set on a specific thing. And she laughed and said, absolutely not. She goes, I went through 4 years of undergrad. I changed my major 3 times. I was lost. Even at graduation, I was sitting there and I didn't know what I wanted to do. She was worried and stressed that she was never going to find a job that actually uses her degree. A lot of things that, sitting here as a junior, I feel and can relate to as well. I thought it was really important to hear from somebody who's now successful that they didn't know what they wanted to do. It's very comforting to know that at one point she was sitting where I am and that it's okay to change and it's okay to experience and try new things because you never really know what you're going to find. I mean, the sport industry, there is so many jobs, so many opportunities, some that I might not even know are out there yet until I get out there and start learning and experiencing things. So it was really comforting and nice to hear that from somebody who's now successful. So this position, the coordinator of women's athletics, is actually a new one in the institution that she works at. And I asked her if she feels that it's important for other colleges and universities to have a position like this to advocate for for female athletes. And she said it absolutely is. She said as sports grow and the level of competition gets higher, the expectations and the standards rise with them. And she said there is a lot of pressure on young women athletes to be perfectionists, and especially if they're looking to continue on to collegiate or professional levels, there's really no room for error in their lives. And she said being a female in society, there's outside pressures and other things that affect them as well. And those societal pressures plus the pressure of being perfect and the standards of the sport industry for females, it all kind of deters them and pushes them off the path, and they end up quitting the game that they love. So she said it's super important for a position like hers to be had at a university so that she continued to reassure female athletes that it's okay to be human and it's okay to make mistakes and that it's not the end of the world, and you're able to handle everything that is on your plate. So I asked her if she feels, being in her position, that it's super important to advocate for women in the sport industry, athletes and both workers. And she said it definitely is important to advocate them, but at the same time, it's important for them to advocate for themselves. So she said there's a lot of, misunderstanding about females in the sport industry. She said that they need to advocate for themselves. So she talked about specifically from an athlete's point of view, female athletes, they need to continue to work hard and earn their spot and show that they're as good as they are, just like male athletes do. There's only so much that we can do from the outside to advocate for somebody who isn't earning the position that they're attempting to get, which both goes over to the same side for the business side as well. If you're not earning it, you're not going to be expected to get it. And that kind of allowed me to flow into my next question. And personally, my most important question in my mind was to see if she feels that it's important for younger girls and younger athletes to see women in successful higher up sport industry like positions, a general manager of a team or things like that. And she said that it is important because it's able to give them hope, but at the same time, she also sees it as a crutch or a cop-out for some women. So she said that in the sport industry, just like any other industry, it doesn't matter what gender you are. If you work hard, put in the time, and do what will get you that position, that's what's going to make you earn it. She said a lot of times women won't work as hard, but they think that they are. And that's really the reason that they don't get the position, whereas they may take it as, oh, I'm a woman, they don't want to hire me. And I think there's definitely a lot of back and forth about that statement, because I feel that there are certain positions that it's harder for women to make just because they are women. There's a lot of stereotypes and everything with it, but I also agree where Miss Smith was saying, if you work hard and you earn it and you deserve it, you're going to get it. So it's definitely, I believe, both sides, and I understand and can see both sides' point of view. She gave me a quote, and this is the one quote that I took word for word that I really, really loved. She said, we often think that we put in enough work and effort that we should be rewarded right away, but that's not the case. And I fully agree with that, and I fully believe that. Oftentimes in the sport industry, you may be hired at a position that you feel you're overqualified for, but there are certain positions that you need to work your way up, you need to earn your spot, you need to climb the ladder, as a lot of people would say. And I agree with that. There sometimes is a lot of entitlement and such in, younger individuals looking to make it in the business, but you still need to put in your time, whether, no matter if you have 4 degrees and you've worked for this many teams and everything, if you come in, you have to be able to earn the position that you want. It's not just going to be handed to you. So I really enjoyed talking to Miss Smith, and there was a lot more that she said. She gave me some personal experiences and things like that I really took a lot from. And, it's helped me change my vision, my point of view, my feeling, my motivation. It's really kind of altered my whole outlook on finishing school here and graduating and going after these jobs. And it gave me more hope that, there are people out there who will hire me because I'm qualified and prepared to work in the job. I mean, my dream job would be to work in the front office of the New York Yankees. That's a long shot. It is. It's a long shot. It's a very hard position to get to. It's a lot. But now knowing that there's ways I can climb and get involved and all of these things, it was really great to speak with her and learn more about what she's doing and how she feels about women